Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this episode is the latest news coming from Birmingham and some updates on stories that we've covered in the past. This first story before we do the updates is about a PCSO who got dragged down the street by a driver after he approached him for the smell of cannabis. They said that a teenage driver who was stopped by police routinely dragged the PCSO down the street. PCSO Kieron Poole feared that he would fall under the wheels of the car and die as the motorist drove through a car park. Seconds earlier, the officer had smelled cannabis on Muhammad Nadeem and asked him to turn off the engine. Instead, Nadeem, who was 18 at the time, sped away and dragged the PCSO for nearly 30 metres and didn't stop when he was asked.
You alright, mate? Everything alright? How you keeping? You alright? Yeah. You live here? Ah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I was just wondering. Why are you just chilling in the car for? It's a bit cold, isn't it? The window down.
I'm not allowed to smoke inside.
Oh, is that why?
He lets me just smoke cigarettes in his car.
You've been smoking cannabis, yeah?
Nah, not really.
Just turn it off for now, mate. I don't want you driving off. I don't want you driving off. Stop! 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 Stop the vehicle! Help! Look at the guy driving off! Look at the guy driving off! Help! Stop the vehicle now! Kinsey Road, Smethwick! Kinsey Road, Smethwick! Kinsey Road, Smethwick! Help! He's just drove off Asian male in a vehicle. He's running away now. Running off. Stay there now! No! Help! He's running off! Stay there now! Asian male! IC4, wearing blue jogging bottoms, grey, he's wearing a grey, he's running onto High Street now, towards Cape High Street. Help! He's running New Hope Road, he's running towards New Hope Road. OP, he's just tried to run me over. Mate, stop what you're doing now. You've assaulted an officer. Come down the hill. He's going to Montague Road. I repeat, Montague Road. He's just tried to run me over. Right. I've got it all on body cam.
He seemed quite friendly at first. Something just clicked. Once the ignition went on, all of a sudden my arm was attached to the car and I was being propelled through the force of the car, hanging on the side, through a couple of branches, good 20-30 feet, shouted to the male, stop, stop, to which he wasn't paying any attention. I knew at that point I had to get the key out of the ignition. If I didn't, I could have gone under his tyres. I might not be here today. I decided, hang on a minute, what he's just done, I'm not going to sit back and just let him get away with that. I've always been brought up to respect the police, and I thought in that moment when he showed the aggression, I thought no.
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
Eventually, the officer broke free and took the keys with him. Nadeem fled on foot and was followed by the officer into a dead end. Then he charged at him again before fleeing down Smethwick High Street. Kieron followed Nadeem for around 5 minutes and guided colleagues to make the arrest. In the car was a hammer and an axe, and Nadeem had a small amount of cannabis on him. Bodyworn video captured the moment that it happened, and the PCSO returned to the scene to get his hat, which had fallen off during the attack on the 25th of January last year. Nadeem is now 19 years old, and he said he was shocked when he was shown the footage and admitted that it didn't look good. He went on to admit occasioning ABH. dangerous driving and possession of an offensive weapon. He'll be sentenced at a later date, and PCSO Poole from Smethwick said the driver seemed quite friendly at first, but it all changed when I confronted him about the cannabis. He said it happened so quickly, before I knew anything my arm was attached to the car and I was being propelled down the road, hanging on the side, through a couple of branches around 20-30 feet before I knew what was happening. I shouted for him to stop, but he didn't pay attention. I knew I had to get the key out of the ignition. If I didn't, I could have gone under the tyres and I might not be here today. He was left with a bruised arm and no serious injuries, and he says it makes him more cautious when he's approaching people in the future. And of course, there's been other examples that we've covered on the channel where police officers have been killed by being dragged down the street. So he's very lucky to have survived, and Nadeem is also lucky to have not got a more serious charge. So I wish him all the best when he comes out of prison, and I hope that he learns from his mistakes. We recently covered a murder in Handsworth of Kieron, Lincoln. And since then, there has been another murder in Handsworth. The person wasn't named until today. This happened on Sunday, the 7th of February on Holly Road. A man was found dead in a Handsworth property on the weekend, and he's been named as Hassan Kafar. The 22-year-old was discovered with serious injuries, and a post-mortem examination revealed that he died as a result of stab wounds to the neck. A 33-year-old male was charged with murder and remanded in custody after appearing at Birmingham magistrates on Tuesday. Detective Inspector Stuart Moberly from the Homicide Unit said, "Our thoughts with the family and friends of Mr. Ghaffar at this time, and we're doing our best to support them through this stage." They've charged the man in connection with Mr. Gaffar's death, but they're still keen to hear from anyone that knows anything in relation to it. The arrest initially was in West Brum on the train tracks, so I'm not sure what they was doing on train tracks, if they was running away from police, or what the context was, but we'll definitely keep you updated when there's more information about that story. And in relation to the story of Kieron Lincoln from Handsworth, 5 people have now been charged in relation to his murder. Today, Kieron Donaldson from Birmingham and 2 17-year-olds from Birmingham have been charged following arrests yesterday. The 2 boys have been charged in relation to possession of an offensive weapon, and all of them have appeared in court today. They are accused of killing Kieron, who suffered a gunshot and stab wound in Linwood Road on the 21st of January. A 21-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender and was released under investigation. The Homicide Unit Detective Alistair Arenkus said these charges are a significant milestone in the investigation, and we continue to leave no stone unturned to get justice for Kieron. 2 other boys, 14 and 15, have already been charged with his murder and appeared in court last week. So this murder involves 5 teenagers, 18 and under, and it shows the severity of how things are changing nowadays and how killers are getting younger. And in this other story from Alum Rock in Birmingham, a dog attacked 2 children yesterday, and people have called for the 3 heroes who helped save 2 toddlers and their mother from a savage dog should be honoured for their bravery, a city councillor said. Nijat Khatun, 36, stopped her BMW in St Saviour's Road in Saltley when she saw the animal maul the 2 and 3-year-old as their mother screamed for help. Dad of 2, Yasser Baig, 38, kicked the dog and scooped one child into his arms, while the father of 4, Mohammed Zakaria, 43, ran from his home and pulled the others to safety. Their selfless actions have been praised online by various people in the area and also local councillors. One of the witnesses said they went outside when they'd been previously working on their house and heard someone screaming, and at 12:30 on Monday, February the 8th, ran outside without footwear and confronted the horrific sight of one little girl being attacked by a Rottweiler. So it's good to hear that people came to help somebody in their time of need. You don't really hear that too often nowadays. So massive respect to the men that helped that woman and children in that situation. I really appreciate you joining me for this episode. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.